What's up, guys? Kizzle back again with some more Southampton career mode action. I just want to say at the beginning of this one a huge thank you to support throughout the series so far. Hopefully we can keep the success going and keep enjoying the series. But as you can see, we're in transfer deadline day at the minute. We haven't got a lot of money to spend after the signing of Nemanja Matic. We pretty much spent all the budget there. So we weren't expecting a great deal of activity, but we're going to count down the hours now. As you can see, our squad is a little bit on the thin side, but because of the lack of funds that we've had and a lot of injuries, so it wasn't really any fault of our own. We've got a lot of players out injured at the minute. It's just a case of probably we're going to look to get some more youth players. I think I'm going to get a youth scout in because Greaves Callahan, the youth player that we did pick up, has been fantastic for us as a second choice striker. But as you can see here, the first 5 hours go by, no action whatsoever until we get an email, a bid for Luis Muriel from Everton. He has been so disappointing since we signed him. We expected big things. We're desperate to get rid of him. His wages aren't cheap, and he's, we got a bid of 6 million, which I think is roughly what we paid for him. So we're just going to accept that, no counter offers at all, and he moved on. So clearing out some of the deadwood. Even though he's a player with a lot of potential, he just hasn't been doing the business for us. And you can see confirmation that he has left right here and will be joining Everton. Hopefully he doesn't come back to haunt us when we play them later on in the season. And in terms of deals, that was the only one that we were going to conduct this transfer window. You can see the final couple of hours now tick by, nothing happens. You can't do anything within the last hour anyway. But as soon as the deadline closes, we received some more bad news on the injury front. Julian Draxler, one of our key players, our main creative inspiration, has a broken tailbone and will be out for probably the remainder of the season, which is a huge blow. We've lost our captain to Wolfsburg, and now we've lost Julian Draxler, as well as some other players out injured. So the squad is wearing very thin. We are down to our bare bones, but as you can see, we are still up there at the right end of the table, just 2 points behind leaders Chelsea. We're 2 points ahead of Man City with the game in hand, so it is important that we keep getting the right results and keep putting the pressure on the teams above us and around us as we look to better last season's second place finish. But you can see here, despite all the injuries, we are still able to field a very strong team. It's forced to climb, Zuma and Hoffman at the back, Wanyama and Matic are in the holding midfield roles. Gaston Ramirez is going to have to play Cam in the absence of Draxler. Vidio and Podolski out wide with Shane Long up top. And as you can see, we have a tough trip away to Stoke. Not an easy place to come and get a result, and they had the first opportunity of the game. Luckily for us, Fraser Forster was switched on and able to make the save. We had an attack of our own inside 15 minutes. Shane Long, nothing too threatening, just a long shot from distance out of hope more than anything, but Butland holds on well and manages to make the save, and he denies Long again here as we cut through the defence. Long using his pace. He is a top scorer in the Premier League again, I do believe. Obviously he won that golden boot last season, but he was denied by Butland, and Gaston Ramirez there denied by the woodwork, his effort deflecting onto the top of the crossbar. So it was a very good first half performance from us. We dominated most of the game apart from the early stages, but we were unable to find a way through, which was very frustrating. You can see here in the second half the game followed very much the same pattern. Lucas Podolski bearing down on goal. He hit a first time effort, Butland managed to deflect that over. And you can see Ryan Bertrand here, who has requested more money, by the way. Ryan Bertrand wants a new contract. We offered him a deal, but he did decline that. So we're currently debating what to do. Do we keep Bertrand, who has been quite error prone at the back, but he is one of the good English left backs in the Premier League, or do we sell him and try and bring in a replacement? Jose Gaia from Valencia would probably be the main target there should we wish to replace him. But you can see here we're still getting chances, but still being denied by Butland in the Stoke net. Just 15 minutes to play. If we were going to score, we were going to have to do it quickly. Greaves Callahan come on with about 10 minutes to go in place of Shane Long. He had an effort here, running at the defence, no support really, so he had to hit it from distance, but his left-footed effort was saved from Butland. And we move into stoppage time now. It looks like we're not going to get the winner, but Stoke chip a ball over the top, and some Comedy Central defending. Nathaniel Klein and Fraser Forster getting in a right muddle between them. Both of them went for the ball, and it dropped loose to Bojan, and he managed to tap it into an empty net to give Stoke all 3 points. And I cannot explain to you how furious I was with that. After a game we completely dominated, it gave us the chance to catch Chelsea. but we've lost it down to an individual defensive mistake. So it is very, very disappointing. And then just to kick us while we're down, some more news on the injury front. Kurt Zouma will now miss a month with a sprained ankle. But I know we've had a couple of episodes of mainly cup fixtures. This one is going to be 3 Premier League games, the second of which we welcome Tottenham to St Mary's Stadium in horrendous conditions. But you can see here, very similar squad. We don't have a lot to choose from. Fonte and Hoffman actually at the back due to the injury suffered to Kurt Zouma. So that's going to be a new partnership at the back. We've got Henderson and Matic in the midfield role. Long starts again up front with Gaston Ramirez behind him, Vidio and Podolski out wide. Some good quality in that Tottenham team. Andros Townsend, of course, he's capable of hitting a shot from distance. You've got Jan Vertonghen at the back as well, who is a fantastic defender, but chances were very, very few and far between in this game. That was the only real opening for us of the first 45 minutes. Vidio cutting back onto his weaker left foot. His effort was blocked. And then Shane Long goes on a very good individual run, hits a shot from around about 30 yards, but we're denied by the crossbar again. Tottenham had a chance just before the half-time whistle went. Chadley sliding the ball through to Lewis Holtby, and then Romeron, is it Romeron or Romeron? I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. Hitting an effort from a tight angle, but he could only hit the side netting. And as you can see now, just 20 minutes left. Chances very few and far between for both sides. They nearly snuck one in at the near post there, but Fraser Forster got down. And then with 3 minutes to go, Chadley commits a foul on Lucas Podolski, our set-piece master. He scored so many free kicks this season. And you didn't see it there, but Nemanja Matic actually has gone down injured. So it is time to bring him off. Another player on the physio bed. Hopefully he won't be out for too long. We will check it out after this game. We'll check our emails, see what the physio says. But we made a couple of changes, looking to get the winner here. We knew this would probably be our last chance. Lucas Podolski, a decent effort from the free kick, but it hits the side netting. So the game ends in a disappointing 0-0 draw. Just 1 point from the first 2 games of this episode. That is not what we were looking for, and that is not the sort of form that is going to win you a Premier League title. And you can see in regards to Matic's injury, it's a sprained knee. So he is now going to be out for 3 weeks as well. And just to show you the extent of our injuries here, you've got Matic. You can see he's unavailable. Also at the bottom, Zouma, Ramirez and Draxler. So 4 key players, 4 of our regular starting 11, very influential players for us, are out injured. So we are very, very much struggling. Very much struggling. Doesn't make sense, but we're struggling to get a decent 11 out is basically what I'm trying to say. We have to rotate players, a lot of fringe players getting some first team action. And you can see here we are now 5 points behind Chelsea, but we can close that to the 2 points that we started the episode at if we win this game in hand here against Newcastle. And you can see here Bellerin coming in for Klein after his mistake here a couple of games ago. Wanyama and Henderson now the holding midfield pair, and you can see Munir getting a rare start. He's going to play wide right as we look to get a win, really. 2 games without a win. If we're going to win titles, we need to start picking up 3 points. You can see some threats in the Newcastle side to look out for them. Remy Cabella, Gignac and Cheick Tiote in midfield. He's a bit of a midfield engine, capable of causing any side problems. And it was a good start for Newcastle. Remy Cabella showing quick feet. He chips the ball up to the back stick, where I think it was Obertan who had the chance to head Newcastle in front, but unfortunately for them, he wasted it. Not known for his superior finishing ability, fortunately for us. But Jordan Henderson decides to take matters into his own hands, really. He hit a shot from 25, 30 yards just after the 15-minute mark. It wasn't the most powerful long shot you'll ever see, but it was accurate, and it started off well outside the post, looked like it was going off target, but at the very last minute, curled inside, giving Tim Krul no chance as we take a 1-goal lead. And just after the half-hour mark, we didn't take our foot off the gas. We continued to come forward. Some good play here from Callahan, although a little fortunate to get the ball back after losing it. He fed Alvaro Vidio, probably our main threat on the pitch at the moment with all the injuries that we have. And he found space down the right-hand side, cut inside onto his weaker left foot, but a very composed finish. Just opened his body up and side-footed the ball past Tim Krul to double our advantage. And we could have gone 3 up just before the break. A superb double save from Tim Krul, first to block the cross and then to deny Gaston Ramirez with the follow-up. Now, in terms of this start to the second half, I've seen some glitches on FIFA, but none quite like this. Just totally unresponsive. Defenders wouldn't do anything. I couldn't change player. I couldn't do a thing. Newcastle, 3 of them bearing down on Fraser Forster, who looks as shocked as we were. I was so angry I actually skipped the replay, but for some reason the computer automatically kept doing the offside trap even though I wasn't pressing the button. So Newcastle get themselves back in the game, but we get a corner and we try to be a little bit cheeky with it. The ball eventually finds its way to Victor Wanyama on the edge of the box. He strikes it from distance. A fortunate deflection sees the ball arrow straight into the top corner, and we have our 2-goal lead back with just 15 minutes to play. You can see here it comes off the shoulder of Sissoko, I think it is, and arrows straight into that top corner, right on the angle between the bar and the post. So we're very, it's a fortunate goal, and we're pleased with that, especially after the misfortune of the glitch, should we say. But Newcastle nearly caught us out with a corner routine of their own. They drove it in low. Gignac beat Fraser Forster to the ball, but could only head wide. We thought we were going to make it 4-1, and we should have made it 4-1. But we were denied by a combination of Tim Krul and a defender. Greaves Callaghan should have applied the finish, but was unable to do so. And in stoppage time, Newcastle almost grabbed themselves a consolation, but a fantastic save from Fraser Forster, who kept his concentration throughout. And we do pick up 3 points in the final game of this episode. I'm not sure if this was our game in hand, but it does keep the pressure on Chelsea, as we're going to end the episode in the usual way with a look at the league table and confirmation that it was our game in hand. We're now 2 points behind them. You can see Man City in third, level with us, and then a bit of a gap of 6 points between us, City, and 4th placed Liverpool. So we're still going strong. We're up there where we wanted to be at this stage of the season, well over the halfway mark now. You can see just 12 games to go, and we've got to look to push on, keep grinding out these 3 points, even though the squad is struggling. We've just got to keep it together. We're still in the cup competition as well. Obviously, we've got our place booked at Wembley to take on Arsenal, and we're still in the Champions League as well. That is going to bring this episode to a close, guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links in the description below, and we'll see you again with another episode very soon.